everybody, Ryan here coming at you with my long-awaited Blu-ray and DVD update where I've talked about everything I've picked up in the last, I would say, 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, so let's just say a month or so. I have 18 titles here, and some of these you've seen in other videos that I've done, but I have not actually done an update video with some of these titles. So let's go ahead and get started with the DVDs first, shall we? First up, I have something I got out of the $5 bin at Walmart, and that is Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Now you might be asking, why did I pick up the DVD over the Blu-ray? Simple. I actually did not have the Blu-ray available at the Walmart I went to. They were sold out of all of their 788 DVDs, or Blu-rays for the most part, and that was one of the ones that was sold out. I actually went back there again, and they had it on Blu-ray, so I just was like, okay, well, I'll just eventually pick it up since I got the DVD. Transfer's alright. I mean, for a DVD, it's actually pretty terrible. Overall, I just really need to upgrade to the Blu-ray as soon as possible. I don't know if I'll hold out. I'm really hoping that maybe Shout Factory will release, the Road Warrior, this, and I know it's a long shot, but the newest Mad Max film. But anyways, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Alright. Let me try to do this Zeronizer X style a little bit. Next up is one of my all-time favorite films since it really came out. I just love it. I don't really talk about it a lot. I don't know why. But as somebody who loves classical music, as somebody who is a musician like myself, this is just a movie that has always inspired me. And this is Mr. Holland's Opus. Brilliant performance by Richard Dreyfuss, and Michael Kamen's score is powerful. Yeah, and I'm sure most of you have already seen this. I'm hoping that maybe they'll do a Blu-ray release of this. I think it's been released on Blu-ray at some point. It's been released, but it's out of print or something. I don't know. I don't even know if it's ever been released on Blu-ray, but I had to get this, especially for $3. Come on. Next up is David Mamet's The Spanish Prisoner. I'm actually planning on doing a full review of this film, but if you have not seen this film, you need to pick it up as soon as possible. It's just such a great, slow mystery, and not slow as in it takes forever to start, but it's just one of those quiet type thrillers that are just, you don't really maybe know what's going on at first, but as the film goes on, you're just like, man, this is pretty insane, and it's a pretty insane story. Basically, it's about a guy who has this business idea called The Process, and basically it's like a guaranteed moneymaker, and he doesn't want to tell anybody. And the group of people that he's told, he's sworn to secrecy with not mentioning it to anybody else. And basically it's I guess you could say a con game in a way, because I just don't want to give any away, but basically, you probably get the idea. There's mystery surrounding it. His motives and relationships with the businessmen are all tested by different events. Great film. I plan on doing a spoiler heavy review of this film eventually. So this is actually a film that I really hope will maybe get a Criterion release someday, because I know some of David Mamet's films have hit Criterion, so this is definitely one that needs to hit Criterion. Next up is Mr. Mom. I got this for $2 or $3 at that used bookstore that I did an Out and About on recently, and I didn't even realize it until I put the DVD in. But I put the DVD in, and all of a sudden it said, "This film has been formatted to fit your screen." Basically it just ended up being a full screen version, and this movie already kind of looks terrible as it is. And so when it's full screen and it already looks terrible, it was pretty hard to watch, but the movie itself is so awesome that you get over it. Picked this up to kind of one of the movies I needed to get to finish up my Michael Keaton month or my Michael Keaton week that I plan on doing. Took a little hiatus from mentioning it and talking about it, but it'll actually be coming up in the next couple weeks or so. So get ready for that. But yeah, Mr. Mom, if you haven't seen this film, it's just iconic in terms of comedies from the 80s. Written by John Hughes, starring Michael Keaton. One of his first big roles after, Night Shift, and this was like his big starring vehicle. And it's just a hilarious, hilarious film. After he's laid off, his wife goes back to work, so his wife gets out to work, and he's basically the mom of the house now. And it's just so hilarious, the different situations that he finds himself in, whether it's getting addicted to soap operas or worried that maybe a couple of the fellow moms of the neighborhood are maybe trying to hit on him. Like, it's just so hilarious and typical Michael Keaton fashion. You got that charm and that, the comedic chops and just a great screen presence. And it's all just a great film. Next up, same bookstore I picked this up at, and that is Warren Beatty's Reds. This is basically about, a film that he directed, he produced it, and he co-wrote the film. And it's about, the story of John Reed, who was the journalist during the Russian Revolution, and he was heavily criticized because of his political beliefs. And basically this film is an epic 195-minute romance with a backdrop of the Russian Revolution. But I'm saying romance, but it's not. You just get caught up in the lives of these very, very interesting characters, I guess you could say. Each of the characters in this film just have such a unique personality, and a lot of the film is structured around different aspects and time periods of the couple, and the film is kind of set up in flashbacks, and it starts out almost documentary style by having witnesses to the events, and so it's like almost documentary style at first, but it's actually has that big cinematic feel. But yeah, I loved every single second of this film. Warren Beatty, Diane Keaton, and then also has a good performance by Jack Nicholson as a writer who kind of has it's portions of the film, I guess you could say, is more of a love triangle, but to say that this movie is just a romance, it's just stupid to even say, so I'm not going to say it, even though I've already said it. So, but anyways, Reds. Next up, we have Kingpin, Farrelly Brothers movie. I loved this film when I saw it when I was younger, and as somebody who grew up in a family of bowlers, I was on a bowling league growing up. My dad was in a bowling league, used to travel different parts of the southern United States, competing. And so this movie I could relate to in a lot of ways. And not necessarily the actual characters, but I could relate to the sport. And this is an awesome movie. I highly, highly recommend it. I know they just came out with an epic Blu-ray release of this, but I can't pass up a DVD that's only like $2. So I picked it up, and to be honest with you, I'll eventually get it on Blu-ray, but as long as I own the film, I'm fine. Alright, next up we have one of my favorite films of the last few years, Moneyball. I was going to get it on Blu-ray, but it was sold out at Target when I bought it on Blu-ray because it was on sale. So I just went ahead and picked up the DVD for $4. Love this film. We'll eventually get it on Blu-ray, though. Next up is something I got off of eBay for pretty cheap. True Detective, Season 1. Definitely going to be upgrading to Blu-ray eventually, but I just could not pass up the price. I think it was like $8, free shipping. And, everybody's talked about the show, but anybody who hasn't seen the show, it is such a masterpiece of a show. Really looking forward to Season 2. I know there's kind of mixed reviews by critics, but I just stay away from that because I mean I already knew it was going to be hard to top a perfect first season. So yeah, True Detective. Next up is two things I think I've shown before, but I got these used on eBay, and it is Star Wars bonus features. This is the bonus Star Wars trilogy bonus disc of the DVD set. This has the Empire Dreams on it and a few other things. And then this one is the Story of Star Wars, which was released in certain stores with Episode 2. I'm pretty sure maybe Episode 2 or Episode 3, but it's documentary special feature type stuff, deleted scenes, and just had to get these to complete my more of Star Wars stuff that I have. So I know a lot of these are already on the Blu-ray set, but I don't have the big Blu-ray set. I just have the original, well, not the classic trilogy on Blu-ray. I just have that set, and I still have episodes 1, 2, and 3 on DVD, which I'll eventually get to Blu-ray. So I definitely needed to pick these up. La da da. Alright. Now to the Blu-rays. Next up, we have a TV show again. Something that I picked up at the same bookstore that I picked up some of these at, and this one was for $15. I could not pass that up, and it was still basically factory sealed and everything. And that is House of Cards Season 1 on Blu-ray. Brilliant show. I'm a political show junkie, so this was right up my alley. And Kevin Spacey's awesome, and just the cast in general, the writing, the directing. Each episode is just as, I guess you could say, twisted as the next one. I'm really looking forward to watching the British version of the original series. Probably within the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna try to check it out, and really looking forward to that. But can't go wrong with House of Cards with Kevin Spacey. All right, next up, we have a Criterion, yes. And I think this almost brings my number of Criterions over to, I think, over 100. I have a lot of Criterions at this point for me. I've been collecting them for years, but, I can't buy them as much as other people do. But I think this may have brought me over 100. I'm not sure. And that is 12 Angry Men on Blu-ray. One of my all-time favorite films, but what I love about this Blu-ray set is that it has the Franklin J. Schaffner directed, I guess you could say, the teleplay of 12 Angry Men, which came out before this film. And I've been wanting to see that forever. And I didn't realize it came on this until I bought it and looked at the special features. And I was like, what the hell? That's so awesome. So definitely looking forward to watching that. So yeah, this is spine number 591. Sorry, it's like 11 o'clock at night. My voice is I'm just exhausted today. But I really wanted to make a video, so I decided to make a video. Alright, to move on with the Blu-rays. I was going to show this in an update sooner because of when these came out, but it's all good. Got this, basically around the time period that the latest film came out. And I'm talking about Mad Max on Shout Factory, Scream Factory line. Love this series. Love this as a first film too. One thing that always kind of bugged me though about how they promote this film, they kind of promote this film as if it is a revenge film. I don't consider this a revenge film, and I think if you go into it thinking it's about somebody who's getting revenge for being done wrong, if you go into this film thinking that, you're going to think that the film is just boring and the plot doesn't ever start catching up. Because it really doesn't become a revenge film until the last, I guess you could say, third of the film. I guess the best way to describe this film, they usually describe it as after being attacked, Mad Max goes on revenge against the people who did him wrong. That's not really a good synopsis because you're just describing basically the climax of the film. A good way to describe this is maybe like meet Max. He is somebody who's, we're along the journey of him witnessing the self-destruction of human society as we know it. And can he stop the destruction before it's too late? That's more of a good synopsis because you're kind of going along with him as he's witnessing this progression of events involving this gang. And so it doesn't really start out as a revenge film at all. And I think that's why some people may be disappointed when they see this. I love the reversible artwork on this too. Next up is a revenge film, which it's revenge in the way of like. I don't even consider this one a revenge film. I just consider it a great action film, and that's the sequel to Road Warrior. I guess you could say technically this one's more of a revenge film, but he's actually already kind of, sought revenge for what happened to the people that he loved. And this one, it just starts the progression of the character and, his further adventures. But if you say any of them's a revenge film, I think this one is the better one to mention because this one starts out, right in the middle of the action. So, yeah. So I picked both of these up. I got this one at the Walmart bin for like $7.88. So, very glad to have both of these because they both look amazing on Blu-ray. Alright, next up, I got this on, I've been trying to collect these films, but you know how Disney can be with their Blu-rays. They're just very annoying with how they price their stuff. I just could never get it, for a good price. I wasn't about to pay $30 for it, even though I love the film, but I'm talking about Captain America, and got this on eBay for like $10. Still has the DVD, still Blu-ray, everything is awesome with this release. But, really since Marvel got bought by Disney, their DVDs their Blu-rays are just so expensive. Like, I cannot justify spending $30 on a movie a lot of times. I don't know about some of you, but I'm not one of those unless it's a film that was like my favorite film of the year. But even then, like, I only buy films full price like that if they're like a steelbook or something. If it's anything else, I either get it on the day it comes out to where there's a sale, or I just wait until it goes down in price. For instance, I bought the Interstellar Blu-ray steelbook from Target online full price. Then I also got Birdman the day it came out, but I got it when it was like on sale. And so by the time it went back up to $20, I had already had it. And so that's why it took me so long to get this. And I still have so many other Marvel films to catch up on in terms of buying them. So this was, Anyways, love this film. So glad to finally have it on Blu-ray. Next up, Jurassic Park and The Lost World Jurassic Park on Blu-ray. I know you could get the set of the trilogy, but I want to get the standalone sets instead. I'll eventually get Jurassic Park 3, but I really wanted to get the first two because I love the first two. And unfortunately, I've not seen Jurassic World yet. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing that probably within the next couple days. So, yes, I love Jurassic Park, one of my all-time favorite films for years. I love The Lost World. I think it's a great sequel. It's a lot darker. And I just think it's a fun, dark action film. But of course, the first one just blows it out of the water. Oops. Let's find place for it right here. Running out of room. And last, and certainly not least, is something I just opened yesterday in the mail, and that is the Canadian release of Jackie Brown. I could have easily gotten a US release, but that's like a, you get all the special features, but the packaging is just so basic. I mean, basically it's the same thing, but this one has, it's like in this, in a slip case. So there's the front, there's the back, and then what I love about it the most, voila. I'm a huge fan of blaxploitation cinema, and so that's one of the things I've always loved about this film since I was a kid when it came out. But I just love this artwork. The steelbook, one of the versions of the steelbook has this artwork, and I just love that. And this set also comes with the DVD. So you got the Blu-ray here and the DVD over there. And so I would much rather get this set with all this awesome artwork and the DVD with it as well over like the $5 or $6 Blu-ray. Just like, with the standard artwork on it. Just because that's just how I am. And I think I got it for like $11 free shipping on eBay. So there we go, Jackie Brown. Well, that's it for all of this fun stuff. I hope you enjoyed this update. This is kind of the spur of the moment. I didn't actually plan on filming it today, but I wanted to go ahead and get it all filmed because I'm actually going to be putting my movies in A, B, C order, alphabetical order, within the next week. Which is going to be very, very stressful because it's very stressful for me. But either way, it's going to be fun. So I wanted to go ahead and show off all this cool stuff I got. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I recently did a couple videos. I did a VHS haul that, I got a bunch of VHS included with all this stuff, but went ahead and did that video separate. And I also did an in-depth discussion, I guess you could say, a fireside chat about Cannibal Holocaust, one of the most controversial films of all time. So feel free to check those out, and feel free to check out my Patreon. I'm just blown away by the support I've gotten so far. And, a lot of people are not big fans of this Patreon thing, but with me, even if you look at my Patreon, there's some of my viewers that help me out, but a lot of it is my family. And I'm just glad that my family is supporting me 100%, and it's just amazing. I don't expect people to watch every single videos, especially some people in my family. They might not like every single video I talk about, but they could always support me in that way, and they're the ones who actually talked me into doing it because they wanted me to do something where they could support me without actually having to watch a video about me talking about Cannibal Holocaust, for instance. So I'm just blown away by the supporters that I have here on YouTube, and I think I just crossed 1,060 subscribers, and that just blows my mind. So thank you to each and every single one of you, and yep, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.